Hi, this is Crit Anime here, and today I'm going to do a quick video of the new SNES mod that I've got. I bought this from a website called consolepassion.co.uk. Cost me about £50 for the console and the mod doing. And here's the modded console itself. As you can see, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and it is the PAL version. And like I said, this is going to be a really quick video, just giving you a brief overview of how the chip actually works. The mod that I've gone for is the switchless mod, so as you can see there's absolutely no external modification done to the system except for the cart slot widening there. Okay, and that's just to accommodate the American games. Otherwise it's well, apart from that external mod, there's no other modifications to this PAL system. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to power it up without a game in, just to showcase the changes. At the minute it's showing red, which is the normal boot colour for if you've got a normal PAL SNES. And we'll let reset and keep hold of it. And as you can see, it's cycling through colours. It's going from red, orange to green. That means it's shifting modes, so we'll stop it in green. Green means that I've now switched it to 60 Hz, ready for American and Japanese games. Again, red is 50, and orange is the passive mode. The chip that I've had put in it recognises which game you've got in, so it'll know that you've got a Japanese or American game in, and it'll adjust the Hertz accordingly. Okay, and I've got a feeling this will be the mode that I use the most, because it just seems like too much faffing around. Switching PAL games from 50 to 60 Hz, because you get loads of glitches on some games, as I'll showcase later. Okay, so for the time being, we'll switch it back to PAL just as an example, and we'll take one of my favourite games for the system, Parodius. That is the PAL version. Okay, I'll just shut it off. Ooh, where's the slot? Just set that down on the floor, so we'll just power it up. The game boots up fine, and as you can see it's got the thick black bars at the top and the bottom of the screen. That's to say it's in 50 Hz PAL. Okay, and what I'm going to do is push and hold the reset button so it goes green. And now, as you'll probably be able to see in this next shot, it's gone to 60 Hz, full screen. We'll switch it back to 50, black lines, green, 60 Hz, full screen. So, it is handy for people that want to see the games in full screen. For me, I'm not particularly bothered. I've grown up with the games being in 50 Hz, and it doesn't alter my enjoyment of the game at all, so like I said earlier, I'll be leaving it in passive mode, but I just did this as an example of what happens when you switch it between 50 and 60 Hz. Okay, and what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to leave it in 60 Hz because the chip remembers your last setting, and I'm just going to take my copy of Tenchi Muyo for the Super Famicom. Okay, gently open it because I want to try and keep the box as pristine as possible. Okay, and take out my already unpackaged game just to make it a bit more convenient for one hand. Okay, as you can see it's a Super Famicom, even though the cartridges look identical to the PAL version. Or should I say the PAL version looks identical to Super Famicom. And we'll boot it up. As you can see it's in 60 Hz. The chip inside has recognised that it's a Japanese game, and as such has disabled the lockout chip, allowing me to play the game. And now the game is being run at full speed and in 60 Hz. We'll just skip past that because that's got them black bars on top on purpose. But there you go, as you can see, completely running at full screen and full speed. Now, just as an example, you can actually switch this down to 50 Hz. which does give you a noticeable speed drop when you're actually playing the game. You can't hear it just from the music, but when you're actually playing the game you do get a noticeable speed drop. I noticed this with Darius Twins, should I say Darius Twin, not Twins, that I was playing on the other day. So we'll switch it back to 60 Hz, and as you can see it's gone back to normal. Now, just as an example of the passive mode, what I'm going to do is just set it to passive mode, switch the console off, and again it'll remember that I left it in passive mode. And just an example for this, we'll take my PAL copy of Parodius, power it on, orange light to say that it's on passive mode, game boots up, and it's in PAL 50 Hz. We'll turn that off, take that game out, take my copy of Tenchi again, plug it in, power it up. The game recognises that it's a Japanese game, disables the lockout chip, and starts it up in 60 Hz mode. There you go. So all in all, it's a pretty decent chip. I'm quite impressed that I got it. I could have sent the console off to Console Passion to be modded, but I just figured it probably cost too much in postage. So by the time I've paid for postage and packaging and stuff like that, and sent it off to them and paid for the actual mod, it'll have cost the same as actually buying one off them that's already been modded. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not every PAL game likes being put into 60 Hz mode. A prime example of that is Starwing. So what I'll just do is just power it up, switch it to PAL 50 Hz with the red light, switch it off. You don't need to do that, by the way. I'm just doing that for an example of this video. Boot it up. Nintendo presents, and everything looks fine so far. However, switch it into 60 Hz, the screen flickers, and as you can see now, all the polygons are messed up. There's a massive black line in it. There's polygons missing, there's polygons disappearing and coming back. Put it back into 50 Hz, everything works fine again. Again, put it back into 60, graphical glitches, and it's doing it again. There you go, there's a massive glitch there. Put it back into 50 Hz, glitch is gone. 60 Hz, glitch is there. I've tried 3 Super FX games, Starwing, Vortex and Stunt Tracer FX. There seems to be only Starwing and Vortex that are affected by this, but it's not only Super FX games that get this trouble. Let's just take Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. Put this in, turn it on, leave it in 50 Hz. Okay. And now I'm going to switch it to 60 Hz, and this game takes a while for it to work out that I've switched it to 60 Hz. There we go. Not only that, but I start it up, and the best example to show this on is Super Mario World. Of course it glitches right from the start. It's in 60 Hz, and the screen just flickers. And there's lines appearing and graphics just don't look right. Colours are distorted. Yep. Switch it back to 50 Hz. Everything's fine. And back to 60 Hz. And it glitches again. And finally back to 50. And it works again. Okay, so this has been Crit Anime with a really quick video about the new mod chip that I've got. I hope this has cleared some things up, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And you can see more about this on my website at critanime.com.